And two of the virgins, Jason and Taylor, are with us now this morning. We've been chatting about it already, haven't we? It looked like a gorgeous place, by the way.
It was stunning.
Absolutely beautiful. Taylor, so why did you choose to do it? Because, as Ben has said, it's a really brave move, actually.
Yeah, well, I saw it on TikTok, actually. There was a comedian kind of taking the mick out of it, and I was like, no way. So I looked into it and was like, oh, there's a show for virgins. And I was speaking to it with a colleague at work, and she was like, you should totally apply. And I said, no, but ended up looking at it and kind of treated the application process as a mini therapy session by itself and just really spilt my guts, thinking that I would never get called back.
Right.
And then they did contact me, and it was so fast. And then everything's kind of happening, and then you end up on the island and you're still like reeling, going, how did this happen? But yeah, it was kind of at the point, I was at the point where I felt like I'd tried everything and had kind of just gone, right, I'm too scared, just give up. And like this came as a really good opportunity for me.
Yeah.
So it was a mixture of bad experiences along the way and fear that had meant you'd got to the age of 30 and you hadn't had a chance to lose your virginity. And then it would become a bigger thing than it probably ever should have been.
Honestly, it gets bigger and bigger as you get older, especially because you start off as a teenager and, like, some people haven't, some people have. Then you get to your mid-20s and some people are, like, really weird about it. And then you get to your 30s and they're like, we've given up on you. Like, they start making films about you. Then
and you'd almost given up on yourself as well. I mean, you said you'd kind of gone, well, that's it, I'm not... I am happy with the way I am, and I'm a full person without all of this. But it was such a shame that, like, it's just something that I didn't have that everyone else did.
Yeah. And Jason, you went in there, you seemed to have a real problem when you started to watch the show about intimacy and any form of kind of touch, really.
I couldn't do any touching. The handshake, I didn't think a handshake was that hard, but intense.
You found it difficult? Why? Where did that come from?
I don't know. Look, my family would never hug us.
Right.
Like, my granddad would give me, like, I don't know, like, maybe like that. I can't do it, but like a handshake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't do it myself.
Like,
but I don't know. Whenever someone's ever tried to hug me, I feel like, oh, I'm getting suffocated. I don't like that, and just don't touch me. Keep a distance. Like social distancing. COVID was great for me. Do you know what I mean? It was great. I was like 6 feet. Yeah, amazing. But I didn't want to always be like that. I wanted to one day meet a woman and be able to just like. Not just a handshake, like a hug, and just feel great, but not just in a romantic way either. Like just hugging my mum. Like,
because you didn't hug your mum, did you?
No.
And that you weren't a huggy family at all.
Not at all, not at all. But it was her 50th the other day, and hello, Mum. But no, so we hugged, and it was great. And
how has she found that? Has she enjoyed being able to hug you as well and being able to share that?
She's still a bit on edge about hugging still, but she's a lot older than me. Well, not a lot older, sorry. She'll kill me now. But I feel like with hugging, she's set in her ways about not wanting to hug, but she has started hugging, and it's nice to see.
Makes a difference.
For me, it feels so great now. It feels so natural. Like, can I hug you?
Yeah.
But like, what about consent as well?
Yeah.
You learned that. That was drilled in.
But it was lovely, actually, to see even on the island, like, you first of all put your hand on someone's knee and then hold their hand too, and the therapist seemed really kind too.
All the therapists, you can't knock them, even if you tried. They're so amazing. And we were definitely thrown in the deep end, but they were there to guide us, and they truly did guide us. And I can't spoil anything, but I know, 'cause I was there, but I know it's going to get a lot better, and some people are going to shock you. I can't say who, but it's going to shock you.
But it is an extraordinary thing, though, Taylor, because we watch you, and these are very personal, intimate things you're sharing. And even the slightest suggestion that someone's going to come close to you, you break down in tears. You were so emotionally sort of caught up in what was going on.
So I was like, I'm fine with hugging my friends and I'm very tactile with my friends and my family, but it was a case of, it was the act of being desired that made me really, it kind of put the fear in me, and I'd freeze up and I'd start to feel like, you know, crying, obviously. But for me, I am quite an emotional person, and it was this kind of freeze in the headlights moment that I kept on running into, which was causing the issue. And it was constant. And then eventually, like, I ended up on the island, and they were like, I remember, I think there's a part in episode 2 where I cry in front of Tom, but before I started, she said to Tom, she went, Taylor might cry. And I was thinking, I'm not going to cry. He's just looking at me. And then he looked at me and I was like, bing! And it just started, so I was like...
And was Tom your surrogate?
No, Tom's one of the other islanders.
He's one of the other islanders.
Yeah.
Because you had one of the things I was fascinated by was the sex therapists that you've got there that are helping you with your intimacy.
Yeah.
Some of them are surrogates, so some of them are there potentially to just explain what Jason. Maybe you can explain what the surrogates are there for.
Well, I didn't have a surrogate, but the surrogates, Kat and Andre, they're there for the more hands-on, the nitty-gritty, as
The
you'd say.
physicality.
The physicality of it. And you'll definitely see what happens with that. But
So if you are prepared and confident enough to go forward with something more physical than
they're the ones that will do it.
The really intimate stuff, they are there for you to enable you to do that.
Yeah, they're there to
guide you through
guide you all the way through it and help you do it.
And help you so you know what you're doing and you can feel safe and you can feel confident. That's an extraordinary job, isn't it?
Well, it's better than... Because if you're in a situation where you're going to go home and then have to do this with a stranger, like, they're in a place where they're able to guide you through it, keep you safe, keep you calm, and take it in a really therapeutic place. It's not like hooking up with somebody on a night out. It's therapy, and it's all about taking you through the steps of intimacy and getting you to there.
I like, actually, how they discuss everything mentally and emotionally too, as well as just the physicality of everything. You just talked then about going home, because you recorded it, what, like a year ago or something like that?
Full year. We're on the anniversary.
So how has it been, like, since leaving the island? Because I think it's very easy to...
Yeah, when you're all there.
Yeah, and you're supported by, as I said, the therapists, I think, are great, and they seem to support you in every way that you need to. But to suddenly leave the island and then be popped back into your regular life with your families and your friends. Has it been since leaving the island, and have you been dating?
Do you want to go first?
Oh, well, I'll thank you, ladies first. Well, I mean, for me, it was... Getting home was kind of like... For me, I know some people slid straight into it. It was kind of like hitting that brick wall all over again, because you get home and then you have to start putting it into practice. I have been on a couple of dates, but I've been so much more selective. Because for me, I was pushing myself to do things I was uncomfortable with in an attempt to try and, like, make myself do the thing. Whereas now I can do what I feel is best for me. And I feel like my dating life has been a lot more positive because of it. Not necessarily more fruitful, but... but I feel like I'm not afraid to go on a date. I'm not afraid to make the first move. And that's something that it's given me that I didn't really have before. So that's really nice. Like, I can take that home with me.
That's
good.
fabulous. And
What about you?
Jason?
So mine's a bit different. Well, OK. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked someone out for the first time on a date.
Amazing.
I can't say who this person is,
No.
but you'll see her on TV. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but she's currently abroad, and I said, would you ever come back to the UK, have a drink, as a date? And she was saying, I don't know if I'll come back to the UK. So I said, is that a rejection? And she was like, don't be silly, of course it's not a rejection. So I was like, yes! And I'm like, maybe I would have preferred it as a rejection, because what if she doesn't come back to the UK? But I'm glad I did it, because without the island, I would not have had the confidence. Like, short sleeves now, I would never have worn this ever. Like, I'm so more confident.
So you're more exposing yourself as well. It's amazing, isn't it? For a lot of people, they'll think that's a really simple thing, just putting a T-shirt on and getting your arms out in the sunshine. But actually, it was a really big deal for you, Jason.
It was.
This whole thing is a really big deal for all of you. You're so brave. It's fascinating.
Thank you.
Really, really engaging watch as well.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
And how much you've come on as people as well since the first show, because we've only watched the first one, haven't we? The first two. But you're, like, so confident and sparkly and... Yeah.
Thanks.
Well done.
Oh, thank you. I'm not crying, which is a massive difference from the show.
No, can I just say, I sat out that session because I had a sore throat, because I left the aircon on overnight.
This was the first one. You don't want... Yeah. But do you think you would have sat it out if you went back and did it now, even with a sore throat?
Maybe, OK, maybe. But now, like, presently, not at all. I'll be proper in. I'll be like, yeah, man, wave it about, everything.
Thank you so much for coming on and chatting to us.
And good luck with the dating and the future exploits. Long may they be fruitful and exciting.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Virgin Island continues tonight, 9 o'clock on Channel 4. Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.